At number 1, we've got the chilling tale of a police officer out in the dark depths of South Jersey. The guy embarks on a chilling nocturnal patrol, aware that reality rarely mirrors the glamour of movies. Hoping for a break from monotony, he cruises along a desolate road, surrounded by sinister woods that send shivers down his spine. Darkness envelops the area, devoid of any comforting streetlights as unsettling shadows dance and play tricks on his mind. Suddenly, a glimmer of light pierces the night, emanating from an abandoned car parked by the roadside. Curiosity compels the officer to investigate, but his blood runs cold when a figure emerges from the vehicle, lingers momentarily, and vanishes into the foreboding woods. Alarmed, he calls for backup, clutching his radio tightly, prepared to confront any imminent danger. Despite the apprehension, the officer musters courage and proceeds with the inquiry. A putrid stench assaults his senses as he peers into the car, but he presses on, undeterred. Determined to uncover the vehicle's secrets, he takes a closer look and is greeted by a ghastly sight: blood-soaked tissues and paper towels strewn across the seats, enough to unsettle even the bravest of souls. As he delves deeper, bone-chilling footsteps reverberate from the depths of the woods. Startled, he whirls around, brandishing his flashlight, scanning the surroundings, demanding the hidden figure to reveal itself. Yet there is only emptiness, save for a mysterious, eerie voice echoing from somewhere within the trees. Though unnerved, the officer persists, imploring the unseen presence to emerge and assuring their safety. But silence reigns, devoid of answers. The voice lacks the desperation of someone in distress, fueling his suspicion. Why would someone flee into the woods at the sight of a police car? The puzzle remains incomplete, intensifying his unease. Realizing the need for reinforcements, he reluctantly returns to his patrol car, urgently summoning additional officers for support. The situation escalates rapidly. The investigation uncovers that the car was reported stolen by a neighbor, devoid of license plates. Amidst the grisly discoveries, a horrifying revelation surfaces: a severed hand wrapped in blood-soaked paper towels. The gravity of the situation hits him, and he swiftly reports a potential murder, beseeching further assistance. Flashing lights pierces the darkness, signaling the arrival of fellow officers united in their quest for answers. Hours pass like an eternity, the tension mounting with each passing moment, yet the woods yield nothing. No clues, no trails of blood to follow. The enigmatic figure eludes capture, leaving behind an unsolvable mystery that lingers in the air, permeating with an unsettling presence. Though the stolen car is apprehended, it fails to provide meaningful leads. The fingerprints on the steering wheel do not match any known individuals, and the DNA from the severed hand eludes identification within their extensive database. The investigation reaches an impasse, plunging them into an eerie silence that endures to this day. The encounter haunts the officer, the unanswered questions tormenting his thoughts. Who was the mysterious driver, and to whom did the severed hand belong? The answers slip through his grasp, lost in the darkness of a chilling tale, forever reminding him of the hidden horrors that lurk beneath the facade of a seemingly peaceful night. Now onto the next terrifying tale. In a small unit of the sheriff's department, 2 officers were tasked with handling ankle monitors and tethers. Late at night, they embarked on a search for an individual who had escaped from the program, leading them to a dubious area in their county. Something immediately felt off about this stop. One officer approached the front door while the other maintained watch at the side of the house. They knocked and a middle-aged woman answered, locking eyes with the officer at the side. Perplexingly, she seemed aware of their presence despite being out of sight from any windows. Instead of responding to the officer at the front door, the woman's focus remained on the officer at the side. After a moment, she allowed them entry and made incoherent remarks about a person named Camille, suggesting her presence. The situation took a disturbing turn. The woman dropped to her hands and knees, crawling behind the officers while calling out for Camille. It became clear she was dealing with severe mental issues, and the officers surmised that Camille might be her caretaker. Despite the abnormality, they continued their search. The woman followed closely, crawling silently. Darkness enveloped the exterior, with only a single light illuminating the house. Strangely, no televisions or electronic devices were found. As they explored, an unsettling atmosphere descended upon them. Moving through the house felt disorienting, as if entering different sections with each hallway. The woman would occasionally materialize behind them without a sound, defying logical explanation. Such inexplicable occurrences left the officers questioning their surroundings. Ascending to the stairs, they encountered a sealed door with dried paint. Determined, they managed to pry it open, revealing an attic resembling a scene from Paranormal Activity with hidden pictures within the insulation. The attic appeared empty, save for storage space, insulation, and a hanging light bulb. Meanwhile, the woman sat silently on the stairs, observing their actions and calling for Camille. After what seemed like hours of searching, repeating their steps, the officers decided to conclude their operation. Driving away, they noticed the woman standing at the door, fixated on their departure. Strangely, their dispatch call and clearance time indicated that they had only been there for 20 minutes, despite their perception of a much longer duration. The officers were unsettled by the late hour, the woman's crawling and calls for Camille, her silent appearances, and the lingering image of her motionless stare. Since the incident, they have avoided returning to the house, haunted by the enigmatic and disturbing encounter they faced. That brings us to our third tale of pure horror. In the heartland of Georgia, where tales are scarce, an unsettling incident unfolded that sent shivers down the spines of Bob's family. Bob, their cousin, had been serving as a police officer, full of hope and determination to make a positive impact on their community. Little did he know that one fateful day, an alert led him and his partner to a house hidden away between Macomb and Roberta. As the story goes, this house had long been abandoned, left to decay and disrepair. Upon their arrival, an elderly man sat at the front steps, his pockets concealed. Something was terribly wrong, as the man's sobs and incoherent mutterings revealed his deep distress. Bob and his partner attempted to communicate with him, but his words were lost in a haze of confusion. Realizing the man was traumatized, Bob's partner called for backup, and Bob, gripping his gun tightly, made a brave decision to enter the house. The stench that greeted him was overpoweringly putrid, a testament to the chaos within. The house belonged to compulsive hoarders, with pots and pans stacked to the heavens, spoiled food littering the table, and discarded takeout containers strewn across the floor in a repulsive display. Following protocol, Bob called out, hoping for a response, but only silence enveloped him. Despite his years of training, his heart pounded furiously as he ventured into the living room, finding it deserted. Navigating the increasingly foul-smelling hallway, Bob's resolve wavered, but curiosity pushed him forward. Gagging, he covered his mouth and nose, bracing himself for the grim discovery that awaited behind the bedroom door. In that room of horrors lay two lifeless bodies, their pallid skin marred by swarming flies. The faces, already decaying, hosted an eerie spectacle of flies darting in and out of their mouths, even perching upon their lifeless eyes. As Bob examined the female corpse, his horror deepened when he discovered the lifeless form of an infant cradled in her arms. To his utmost disgust, a colossal cockroach emerged from the baby's mouth, triggering Bob's instinctive flight from the house, where he stumbled and retched, expelling his lunch onto the very steps the weeping man had occupied. Finally, reinforcements arrived, allowing for a thorough investigation. The elderly man, an acquaintance of the deceased, had discovered the ghastly scene upon visiting their home after a week of absence. The macabre truth unfolded. The husband and wife had succumbed to the grip of an opioid addiction, born from a previous operation. Their abuse of painkillers escalated, leaving them down a dark path of heroin injection and snorting. Tragically, their neglect resulted in the death of their young daughter, whose lifeless body they found, prompting their final descent into despair and self-destruction. The coroner's examination revealed an overdose of heroin on both bodies, enough to ensure their demise twice over. Bob, despite lingering on the police force, found solace in the bottom of a bottle, seeking refuge from the haunting images etched into his mind. However, through therapy and personal determination, he has managed to regain control over his drinking. Yet the haunting nightmares persist, as innocent cries of the deceased child echo in his sleep, a haunting reminder of the horrors he witnessed. That's a wrap for this video. Which terrifying police encounter spooked you out the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.